Hello, beautiful people. Apologies for the slightly different setup. It's just different. But anyway, welcome to my channel. I'm going to be talking a little bit about the sound engineering for Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Clash of Ninja. So I'm in my full screen mode, which means the frames per second will not be 60. I think it's like 30 because it's not in game mode. That's the only way I can show you the editor that I work in. So anyway, just disregard the frames per second. What I want to talk about today, as you guys have probably read in the title and description, is music. I got music, background music, and sound effects working in the game, at least for the menu. The music works in-game as well, because that's easy with stages. I haven't added in punching sound effects because, well, yeah, those are a little bit more complex. The way sound effects work in a game, you can actually have them pan to the left or right, depending on where the sound is happening in the game, for a more dynamic experience. So that's going to take a little bit more time to figure out how to make sure the sound is playing where the attack is happening versus just in general. But for menus and background music, that stuff is always centralized. So all centralized sound effects and music is in the game. So that's what I want you to go ahead and show now. Let me go ahead and hit play from the title screen. So I do apologize for the volume. Haven't figured out a way to adjust the actual recording volume for the game versus me speaking. I'll figure that out at some point. I'm not a professional here, but I think you can still hear me enough. So for the title screen, I just added in the opening for whatever season it is. So this is season 1, so it'll have the season 1 opening theme. So when I start, it's going to switch to the main menu. So it had the confirmation sound effect, and now it's also playing the main menu theme for season 1. And all the options have sound effects as well. It feels real, guys. Yep, everything works just fine. See, even when you try to do something it doesn't allow, it throws an error. And it works for settings as well. The cool thing too is the settings work as well with this when it comes to whether or not you want sound effects and those things on. So like if I turn the background music off, background music's gone. Turn it back on, starts right back up. Same thing for sound effects. It's kind of weird, isn't it? Like, it's awesome. Yep, and then everything is off. So, guys, I'm really excited about this kind of stuff. It makes me so happy and things like that to get these kinds of things working, because it's like, it's small, but it's also big at the same time. It's not just a matter of adding in a sound. I actually added in logic for it. So it's not like, oh, if I add something in the future, I have to add sounds to it. No, adding a button automatically adds in the corresponding sound effects and so forth. So it's a whole system, and so the sound system is now working. So I can easily just add stuff in, and the music, appropriate music plays. It also works, like I say, for a battle. Let me go ahead and add in player 2, sound effect, and now it'll let me start classic battle. And as you see, it also loads in Naruto Street's music. Now, again, I haven't added in sound effects for the characters yet, so this is still a silent battle in that regard. But, hey, at least the background music's working. And as many of you may have been wondering or have figured out already, it loops! Loops, for anybody that has done sound engineering for like Wii games and things like that, or the original Clash Ninja, you know the music loops in the Wii games. Those loops do not carry over. I have to add in new loops, so I actually wrote a program for that. And I will show that to you guys briefly, not to talk too much about coding, but I'm very proud of how it works. So, essentially, these are the two sound players. There's a background music and a sound effect sound player. All this does is keep track of what's playing. So, like, there's main menu music here. So all the main menu tracks, once imported, will be in here. So that's how the game knows what songs are in the game. And then this, it'll play. I just tell it what to play, and it plays it from there. Same thing with sound effects. I have just the mini sound effects in here for now. But that's just the handlers. The actual files are where the cool stuff happens. So inside my sound file, we're going to go into the BGM. Oops. So this is the really cool part. So basically, these are the songs that I have in the game so far. So the way I did my script is I can actually tell it, is this a song that loops or not? If so, I give it the loop time. So this coordinate is basically what tells it where to jump. So if I were to, let's say, play this song in game, this would show me the current sample shows exactly where the song is currently, and then the loop sample shows where when it reaches the end of the song, where is it going to jump back to. So that's a variable that can change. This is exactly how it works when you're adding loops for the Wii games, except for I had to redo everything to work within Unity. So I actually got that to work, and I am very, very proud of myself for doing that. These three options at the bottom, these don't actually do anything. This is just for when I'm testing the loops. I need, you have to actually time it perfectly so the loop loops smoothly. So what I'll do is, if I click on the live loop, that means if the song's actively playing and I click on that, it'll loop right before, it'll loop 1 second, 3 seconds, or 5 seconds just before the loop. So I can just hear it over and over again. So I can, make sure. So I'll usually do the 1 second loop to fine tune it. And once I get it pretty close, I'll switch to a 3 second loop to see, okay, how this is blending, how's it blending. And then when I'm almost done, I'll do a 5 second loop, a couple of those to make sure, okay, when the song's going, does it sound seamless? And then I keep adjusting and adjusting until it's perfectly seamless. So that works for all songs that require loop. And then of course for songs like the opening that doesn't require loop is unchecked. It doesn't even need a loop time because it'll never loop. It just, once it's done, it's done. So but yeah, everyone has their own set, and that's kind of how it works. So I'm really proud of that. So adding sounds is very easy. Sound effects works differently. Sound effects never loop, so I don't have to worry about all of that. So for sound effects, yeah, it's just straightforward. When the game plays the sound effect, it's done. So yeah, actually let me show you what that looks like live. So I'm gonna switch it to the subscreen. So these two here, so you see inside the background music, currently it's showing that opening one is playing. And if I go ahead and start up the game, you'll see the background music just switched to main menu 1. So that's kind of how it works. Same thing for sound effects. Let me expand it for you. So sound effects don't stay like the music does. So once they're done playing, they disappear. So you'll see that after the sound effect plays, they appear and then disappear once they're done playing. So straightforward. So that's kind of how it works. So that's sound engineering in the game. The fighting sound effects will work very similarly. It's just, again, that won't be happening up here. That's actually going to be happening within the player itself, because I want the sound effect to spawn where the player is. So if I punch with my hand, I want the sound effect to come from my hand, not generally. So if you actually have stereo sound or earphones, the sound will actually be dynamic based on where you are on the screen and where the camera is. And it's going to create a more dynamic sound. I'm not sure if the original Clash Ninja games did this or not. My game will definitely do it. So it'll actually, like if there's a waterfall, let's say you're at the Final Valley and the waterfall's over here, you'll actually hear the sound coming from over there. It even works with surround sound. They call it 3D spatial sound. So my game will feature that. So the sound effects will actually come from where they are in the game based on the camera's orientation. So the camera's listening, and so if someone's over here speaking, you're going to hear it more in your left ear. If someone's over here speaking, you're going to hear it more in your right ear, so on and so forth. So that's kind of how it works. But this is where the game is so far. Very happy with the way it works now. And yeah, I guess next I may go ahead and add in the sound effects. I already have a working logic on how those will work to make sure they're spatial. It's just a matter of, there's a lot of hits in this game, and so making sure I get the sounds right the first time versus, yeah, that's the whole thing about that. But anyway, it works. Updates, looks great. Yeah, and I hope you guys get to play it soon whenever I release a new demo in the future. Maybe when I'm done with Sakura. And team battles. I'm going to do Sakura. Since this game supports 3-man teams, I'm going to add Sakura before I work on team battles. So I'm going to add Sakura, and then once I have Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura, I'm going to add in a character select menu and the new team battle system, which, oh my gosh, cannot wait to show you guys what the new team battle system looks like. But that'll come when Sakura's ready. You guys have a great night, and thank you for tuning in. Peace.